Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my 2018 favorites, my year-round favorites, what I was loving all year long. I'm so sorry I have not posted a video since before Thanksgiving. When the holidays hit, I was so busy I could not even turn around. My house has been a mess about all holiday long except for when we had family over. I've just not had time to do anything. I've been super busy with work, and then the time off that I had for work was the time for Christmas and family, and I did not want to film anything while I had family stuff going on. Obviously wanted to be with family as much as I could. So this is going to be a roundup of my favorite products from 2018, and I have some things that you guys have not seen on my channel that I have picked up in the last 2 months that have instantly became favorites, and I have about 4 things for each category, so I'm going to go how I put my makeup on. So if you want to see what I was loving in 2018, then let's just go ahead and get started with the video. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to mention is what I put my makeup on with, and I had told you guys back in November or October, I can't remember, that I had started putting my foundation on with a brush, or I was trying out a brush to put my foundation on, but that quickly kind of faded unless I wanted to use a stick foundation. So the one thing I have been putting my makeup on with all year long is a sponge, and I've interchanged sponges all year, but this is probably my favorite one from the whole year. It is really dirty right now, excuse that, I used it to put my makeup on today, but this is the Morphe Conceal and Contour Sponge. I think it's about $7. It is a little bit more firm than a beauty blender, but a beauty blender is just, it's not my favorite anymore. I like a little bit more firmness to my sponge, but I like the straight edges on each side with the point on the top, and just like the fat sides on either side. So I can use one side for blending out my foundation and the other side for powder. So I really like this sponge, and it's $7. So I love this for the majority of the year because I changed to this sponge in about July, I believe. So I was really loving this, and yeah, I'll probably continue to buy these and use this one. Alright, so we're going to move on to primers, and I believe that I've only told you guys about one of these, maybe 2, but I have 2 from the drugstore and 2 high-end, so I'm going to start with the high-end ones. I think this is the only one that I have told you guys about. This is another little deluxe size sample from Ulta. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This stuff works so good. It makes your skin feel so moisturized. It has kind of a lavender smell to it, and it is purple, but I have yet to buy the full size of this because every time I have bought something, I end up getting one of these as a travel size. So this is a brand new one. I just used it for the first time today, but I love this to just moisturize my skin. It doesn't really do any pore filling or mattifying or anything like that. It's just strictly for hydration. So the next high-end one is one that I have not mentioned, but I have quickly fallen in love with it since I bought it. So when Ulta was having their 21 days of beauty sale, I believe that this was day 16 or 17, the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water was on sale for $16, I believe, and I picked it up. I wish I would have bought 2 of them because I've only had this for a little over a month maybe, and this is how much I've used of it. I use this to prime my skin, usually over this or the next one I'm going to tell you guys about. This just hydrates your skin so well. You'll find that I love hydrating products because I do have dry skin, especially in the wintertime. But I just love this to just smooth over the skin and make it very hydrated. It basically does the same thing as this, but it's in a spray bottle, and I can use this to also set my makeup. So I really like using this to set, just to smooth everything out, and then going with maybe something that's just going to lock everything in. But I really, really love this, and I'm trying to find a dupe for it because it is $32 regularly, and I just don't want to pay that just as every time I run out of it, just because of how fast I'm running out of it now. So this is the primer water, and I love it. This next one is probably my favorite primer of all year long. I discovered it over around Thanksgiving, maybe a little bit before Thanksgiving, but I don't think I've told you guys about this, and if I did, it was just in a haul video or something. But this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer, and this is the Dewy one. They have a mattifying version of this, but this is so beautiful, you guys, and if I don't use this under my makeup on some days, I can really, really tell a difference. So I'm just going to rub it on my hand here. This is honestly almost a dupe for this. It just gives a little bit more glow to your skin, which I personally like. This is what it looks like on my hand. I don't really even know if you can see it, but it kind of has a champagne tint to it, and it doesn't have any glitter in it. It's just strictly just a shimmer product, but it does give your skin some hydration. So those of you with kind of oily skin probably would not like this, but I absolutely love it. That's all of it blended out. You probably can't even tell a difference, but I can totally tell a difference when I don't use that product, and this is only $4.99 at the drugstore. I just repurchased a new one, but I think my husband accidentally threw it away when he was cleaning my car out. So I'm probably going to have to go buy a new one of this because this one is almost done, but it has lasted me a pretty good long time since I bought it, and I'm so glad that I picked it up because I was looking for a dupe for the Becca one because I don't really want to buy the full size of this product just because I probably wouldn't use it, or I would probably use it up very, very quickly. So I'm glad that I found this. I love this product so, so much. The last and final primer is one that I personally think is a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, or the Tarte Smoothing Poreless Refiner Primer. But this is the Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Smoothing Refiner. And this is what the inside looks like, and it's just a moussey consistency. Everybody was raving about the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer this year, and I think that primer is $52, which is absolutely insane, and I will never pay $52 for a primer. But I looked into this because this is almost the exact same texture as that, and I honestly think that it is a dupe. I know that there's one that has come out from e.l.f. that is the Poreless Putty Primer. I really kind of want to try that to see if it's a dupe, but if you have trouble with pores on your skin, if you have big pores, you're really probably going to like this because it does a great job of filling in and just smoothing out the skin. I find that with a lot of smoothing primers like the Benefit Porefessional, which is also like a pore filling primer, I find with more of those types that they can tend to dry your skin out, and also the Porefessional breaks me out. So this does not break me out, and it does not dry my skin out. Most pore filling primers are made more for oily skin, but this one is still pretty hydrating on the skin. But I think if you have oily skin that you will not hate this, but if you want something really good for pore smoothing that is pretty cheap, then I would go with this one. Okay, this next category is my favorite in makeup, I believe. You guys know how much I love foundation. I love trying new ones. I like trying drugstore and high-end just to see which one is better. And looking at my collective stash that I have here today, all of these foundations are drugstore foundations, and I think all of them are under $15, which is awesome. So I'm going to start with one that you guys know about, that you've heard me rave about. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. The packaging is beautiful on this. The finish is beautiful on this. The only problem with this is that I cannot wear this time of year because it is a little bit too dark for me, and I am the lightest shade. So I wear this a lot in the summertime. It just stays on your face so beautifully and still gives your face a really nice glow. If you want to see this foundation featured in a video, I will link it up in the eye. It's from my Easy Dewy foundation routine. So I'm going to link that up in the eye. But this is a beautiful foundation. I just wish that they would come out with more shades. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one either. I don't know where the cap went, but this is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD foundation, the illuminating foundation, and this is the white mixer. I use this if a foundation is a little bit too dark for me. Like, I probably could mix these two together, but I'm not the biggest fan of this combination together just because this one is already dewy. It can make it like way, way, way too dewy on my face. So I don't really necessarily love this combination this time of the year. It would be okay, but throughout the rest of the year I don't really care for this combination. But this is a really, really, really good white mixer if you're very fair like me and you just can't find a foundation that really matches you that well. This is awesome. So this third one is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, and this is in the shade 202 Creamy Natural. This is another one. I love this foundation so, so much. I would wear it year round if I could, but they do not have a shade that matches me good enough when I try to wear this foundation. This shade 202 is the right undertone for me. It looks really, really good when I am a little bit more tan, like in the summertime. But the shade 201 is just way too pink on me. So I can only wear this in the summertime as well unless I mix in this with it, which I have done. I do like this combination together, and I think it's because this foundation's a little bit more liquidy. But I love these paired together, and I love this foundation so much. I just wish, again, that they would just come out with more shades. Alright, so these two next ones I have not mentioned on my channel, but they are so, so good, and I'm so excited to share with you guys. So the first one I'm going to mention is the CYO Long Lasting Lifeproof Foundation, and mine is in the shade 101. You guys can see here I've used a ton of this foundation. I've not featured this on my channel, which means that I picked it up in November, so it has lasted a pretty good long time, but this foundation is so awesome. I find that it's a lot like this, just not as glowy, but this one has the right undertone and it is light enough. This has sort of a gray undertone, which I find is actually worked for me. It is really good for my skin tone. I find that I'm kind of neutral, so pink foundations don't work on me, yellow tone foundations don't work on me. I need something right in the middle, and that's really hard to find when you are so fair. But this one is so good. It is $7 from Walgreens. A lot of times it is out of stock, so you kind of have to search for it sometimes, or just check the website every now and then just to see if they have it in stock. This is a great foundation. I got it off of the recommendation of Thataylaa. I will link her channel down below. She has a ton of videos using this foundation if you want to see this foundation in action. I do plan on filming a video with this foundation. I have it on mixed with this next one that I'm going to talk about. So CYO Long Lasting Lifeproof, so good. Probably my all-time favorite foundation of the year. So this last one is the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream, and this is in the shade number 21. I just bought this about 3 weeks ago, and I have fell in love with it so hard. I cannot believe that I did not purchase this sooner. This is about $8 on Amazon. I found it from Jessica Braun here on YouTube, Jam Beauty 89. I'll also link her channel down below, but this is the perfect BB cream. If you want something that is just really lightweight and it doesn't give a whole lot of coverage for just like an everyday kind of foundation, if you're just running errands, or if you really just need to throw on something quick, you can pump this out in your hands, put it on with your hands. This also has a gray undertone, and I really love this foundation. I am wearing these two mixed together today. I wanted a little bit more coverage today, so I put on the CYO with this. The undertones of both of these are almost exactly the same. This one is just a tad bit darker, but once you blend it out, since it doesn't have a lot of coverage, it doesn't look too dark on your skin. I love this, and there's actually a lot of product in here. I was looking at it, it's got 50 mils in here, which is about 1.75 ounces. So there's a lot of product in here for $8, and this is actually a Korean BB cream. So there's actually skincare benefits in here as well. This is a true Korean BB cream because I could not read anything on the box when it came. It is in English on here, but I absolutely love this, and I'm so glad that I found this for like quick makeup days when I don't want a whole lot of coverage. So the next thing is concealer, and I only have 2 from the year that I have with me, and I have one honorable mention because I have not purchased it in a while, but I love it. So that honorable mention is the Tarte Shape Tape. You guys know that I love that concealer. I haven't used that concealer in a while now just because I've been using other things, but if you want to see that in action, you can just search my channel. I used it in a lot of my older videos, like some of my first videos, so I love that. So the next one is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I've been using this again, and I really like it. I got a different shade in it this time, and I really like this shade a whole lot better. So you guys, I think, have seen this on my channel at least once, but I do really like this, and it is pretty comparable to Shape Tape. It's just a little less drying. But the one that I have used probably for most of the year is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and this is in the shade Snow. If I do repurchase this, I want to purchase the shade Swan because this is so yellow, and I find with a lot of Too Faced products, they are very yellow based. They do not have a whole lot of pink tones or neutral tones. They just have strictly almost just all of their stuff is yellow tone. So it really brightens, but it's just a little bit too much because it's so yellow. But I love the formula of this concealer. It is very hydrating, and your under eyes never look dry. It's just so good, and for the price, I think this is $29, but you get half an ounce in this, and for half an ounce, I think that's great when it comes to concealer because this is a pretty big bottle, and I've been using this for almost probably about 5 months now, and it's just really good. Alright, so I have 4 powders here, and I'm going to kind of speed through these because you've seen 3 of these, but I have one that you have not seen. So first is the RCMA No Color powder. I use this for most of the year, and I actually use a lot of it. For the price, this is a really, really good powder. You get a ton of product for, I think this is like $13 maybe. But I bought this and I'm glad that I did because it really is a no color powder. It doesn't leave flashback or anything like that. I just wish that it gave my under eyes a little bit more coverage. I haven't used this in a while, but it is a really, really nice powder. If you want something that doesn't give you any coverage or will alter the color of your foundation or concealer, I really like this. Then this is another one that I have loved all year long. I stopped using it because I was going through it so fast, and this is an expensive powder. This is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This one has a more yellow undertone, so I can't really use this under my eyes to like set my concealer with because it does alter the color. I really love this because it keeps the glow on your skin if you're using like a glowy foundation. It does not mattify the skin. It just looks really, really pretty if you set all over with it. So this one is a really good product to be high-end. The other ones are all drugstore price, but this is my high-end favorite from the year, and if it wasn't so expensive, I probably would repurchase it again. I'm not completely out of it yet, so I would probably repurchase this again, but right now it's just a little bit expensive for me to repurchase. And the next product I'm going to show you guys has been my ultimate favorite all year long. So my favorite powder of the entire year is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder in the shade 05 Fair. You guys have seen this on my channel. You guys saw it probably last year. Around this time, I used it a ton. And then I ran out of it and I decided to buy the RCMA. But I don't know why I ever stopped using this. This is the best under eye setting powder I've ever used. It's smooth, so nice. I have it on today just under my under eyes, and then I have another one setting the rest of my face. But I love this powder. It gives a little bit more coverage to your skin, and it just sets your makeup so well. This is not a translucent powder. There are different colors in the powder that you can buy. They have a great shade range from very light skin like me, I think this is the lightest shade, all the way to some of the deepest, darkest skin tones. So this is awesome. It's so good. It doesn't dry your face out, and it makes everything look super smooth. This last one I just discovered this past month, and I've not really been a person who sets their makeup with a pressed powder until lately. So this is the Covergirl TruBlend pressed powder, and this is in the shade number 1 Translucent Fair. And I picked this up just to keep in my purse, and I ended up absolutely loving it when I set my face with it. So I'll usually use like a domed brush like this, and I will just press it in and just press it all over my face, and it's a lot quicker than what I was usually doing. I was taking my sponge and putting it in the Maybelline Fit Me powder and putting it all over, but this is just so nice. It's so blendable and so creamy and smooth and sets the makeup really nice. You can see right there. This is supposed to be a translucent powder. I find that it's pretty translucent, but it does kind of give my skin a little bit more coverage and a little bit more color, which I enjoy, but some people may not. But this is awesome. I have not used CoverGirl in years, probably since I first started doing my makeup, and I just decided to pick this up on a whim, and I'm really glad that I did because I really like this. Okay, moving on. I only have one bronzer from the whole year that I loved more than anything, and you guys can probably guess what it is. It is high-end. I hate that this is high-end because I want to repurchase like 50 of them because it's so good. This is the Jouer Sunswept Bronzing Duo in the light to medium duo, and I love this so much. I so wish it was not $30, but unfortunately it is, and I've been trying to find a dupe for it. You guys, I've never hit pan that much on a bronzer except for the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which I also love, but I just love this so much. This is the perfect shade on my light skin. I'm wearing it today. If you watch any of NikkieTutorials videos, she has this and she loves it as well, and that's why I bought it, was because of her, because we have about the same skin tone. This packaging is so beautiful, and just everything about this bronzer is so nice. It's super creamy, super blendable. I never have a problem with this being patchy. It is the right undertone for my skin. They have one that's a little bit darker for people who have more medium skin tone. I wish they would come out with like a very big range of colors for those of you who have deeper skin. but this is just so good, and this is the only bronzer that I had for the whole year, so that is saying something. I like the Physicians Formula one, but it can kind of get a little bit muddy on my skin. This never looks muddy. It is always so good, and I love it. Okay, the next category is probably my second favorite behind foundation, and that is highlighter. I love highlighter so much. It can give your face such a glow, and I have 6 here. And you guys can probably guess which one has been my favorite from the entire year. This is the Smashbox, and it was at the time Casey Holmes Spotlight Palette in Pearl. Now it's just the Spotlight Palette in Pearl, and this highlighter is just one of my absolute favorites. This is probably my favorite highlighter of the year. I started using it last year, and it's just so good. I don't use a whole lot of this shade right here because it is a little bit more glittery, but these first 2 shades are just so beautiful, and I ended up buying a backup of this one, and it is a little bit smaller, and I bought a backup of it about 3 or 4 months ago, maybe even longer. I think it was back in August. It might have been about 6 months ago, but I just hit pan on it too. These are the same shades, but standout product of the year for highlighter was definitely this one. Smashbox killed it with this. It's just so good. So the next one you guys have seen on my channel probably once, maybe twice, I'm not sure. This is the Anastasia and Amrezy collaboration highlighter, and this is one of the most beautiful highlighters I've ever seen in my life. This is a very different formula for a highlighter. There's absolutely no fallout at all in this highlighter, and it can fit a variety of skin tones. I'll just go ahead and swatch it for you guys right here. This, oh, it's just so pretty. It has a champagne-y gold undertone, which is absolutely my favorite. But I thought this was going to be a little bit too dark for me when I started first using it. It came out around the same time as the Soft Glam palette, and I have just been so in love with this. I use this a lot more over the summertime just because it is more of a goldy kind of highlighter. But if I have on an eye look that has a little bit of gold in it, I will definitely reach for this and pair it with something else a little bit lighter maybe. But I can definitely use this on its own. Like I said, this is just an awesome highlighter that can range over so many skin tones, and I think Anastasia and Amrezy just did amazing on this highlighter together. It was out of stock forever, and people thought that it was not going to come back, but I think it is back in stock now at Ulta and at Sephora. I may be wrong, but you can pick this up. I think that this is a fantastic highlighter. It is not too metallic. You can make it look really soft, but it can look really blinding if you build it up. Okay, so I have 3 from Ofra, and the reason I have 3 from Ofra is because I was using this at first. You guys have seen this on my channel. This is the Ofra and NikkieTutorials Everglow highlighter. You guys can see which ones I clearly loved, especially the white one in here. So I bought this off of Nordstrom Rack. They were having a sale on her whole entire collection with the 3 lipsticks and everything that she came out within this collection, and I bought it, and I'm really glad that I did. But the packaging was just a little bit cheap. And for the price of the highlighter, normally I got mine for like $14, but the price of these highlighters being around $35, I thought was absolutely insane for this packaging to be this cheap. So I thought that was really a kind of a cheap packaging, and then Ofra came out and killed the game with their new packaging. I found out that NikkieTutorials and Ofra did a collab again, and they did all 3 of her highlighters from this into separate pans. So I went ahead and bought the Ofra NikkieTutorials Glazed Donut. This is the white one here. If you want a blinding, and I mean like walking down the street and people gonna be like falling all over the place because they can't see where they're going because of your highlighter, this is definitely the one for you. This does not have any kind of undertone except for maybe like a silvery undertone. This is just fantastic if you want something that is very intense. I have used this a ton this year, and you don't go through these things really quickly. They last you a really long time. So I knew that I loved that one, so I went ahead and picked up their newest highlighter, and this is the one from Ofra, and this is called Star Island. So this is a champagne kind of goldy kind of undertone. Again, This one is not as blinding as Glazed Donut. This right here is Star Island. This is Glazed Donut, and this is the Amrezy highlighter. But it's not as blinding as Glazed Donut, but it is just as pretty. These never look cakey on the skin. They always look really, really nice, especially if you put a setting spray over it. So this is so, so good. I love this highlighter. I use this one most often besides my Smashbox Casey Holmes one. So, so good. Would highly recommend Ofra's highlighters. So this last one I have here, I know all of those are high-end, and I hate that all of those are high-end, but the drugstore just does not make a whole lot of highlighters that are light enough for my skin tone. Wet n Wild does, but their lightest one is very, very pink, and I'm not into a very pink tone highlighter. So I was on the search for a highlighter from the drugstore that was really cheap and inexpensive, that was light enough for my skin tone. And I came across one of Nicole Cutler's videos. I'll also link her channel down below. I came across one of her videos where she was talking about the Essence Glow to Go highlighter palette, and this is about $4, I think. You get a variety of shades in here. These two are the ones that work for me, and I actually mix these two together. These are really, really blinding highlights. The only downside to this palette is these are more of kind of like a clay type formula. I don't really know how to explain it, but they can end up looking really heavy on your skin if you're not careful. But these are just really good, and for the price, I think it's so worth it. You get a variety of skin tones, and actually if you're like a freelance makeup artist, having something like this in your kit is just great because you can use it on a lot of different skin tones. Okay, my next category is blush, and you guys will probably be able to guess what my first blush is. If you can't, you haven't seen any of my videos before. So Milani blushes are so good. My favorite one of all time is Milani's Luminoso. My packaging is broken. That's what I'm doing right now, is trying to put this back in. But I have used this a ton this year. This is definitely my most used blush. I love it. It just gives a very nice glow to your skin, like a peachy gold glow, and I just can't say enough good things about it. It's just so, so good. I'm wearing it today. Milani's formula is just the best at the drugstore, in my opinion. I love all of their blushes. Their rose petal blushes are so good. Really, I don't use a whole lot of high-end blushes, but next one is high-end, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in Peachy Love. So, backstory on this blush while you guys just look at the beautifulness of this palette. If you go to TJ Maxx, you can find a lot of Anastasia products. I mean, like, they have like the Subculture palette I've even seen for about 20 bucks. They have blushes like this. They have liquid lipsticks. They have their contour palettes. You can find a lot of Anastasia products at TJ Maxx. And I saw this at TJ Maxx one day when I was shopping with my mom, and I was like, I'm not going to get it. These blushes are 30 bucks, and I would definitely not pay full price for them. They are so, so good. The formula is amazing on these, but I would not pay 30 bucks for it. So I was in TJ Maxx and I saw it with my mom and I didn't purchase it, and I kicked myself for not purchasing it. They had like the pool party shade and then the deeper shade, and then they only had one of these left, and I did not buy it, and I kicked myself. I was like, they're not going to have it ever again. Well, I was in TJ Maxx again and I saw it, and I saw like 5 of these, and I really kind of wish that I would have bought like 2 of them, because this was only $10, you guys. 10 bucks at TJ Maxx. That is the price of this right here. This is $8 and this was $10. You get 3 blushes in here. The formula of these is just so buttery smooth. 2 of these, let me back up. One of these is matte, one of these is a satin, and one of these has shimmer in it. So this orange one right here kind of has shimmer in it, but I just mix these all together and just make the most beautiful peachy blush. I still like this one for more of a glowy blush, but when I'm going for something that's just a little bit more subtle and toned down that's not as glowy, I love this one. It's so good. And if you can find this in TJ Maxx, oh my gosh, pick it up, because that is a great deal for any Anastasia product, especially these blushes. Okay, so moving on to brows. I loved the LA Girl Shady Slim brow pencil for a lot of the year. I went through a lot of brow pencils trying to find my favorite, and the LA Girl one is definitely my favorite, but I don't have that one now because I've been using this for a long time now. So another Anastasia product. I actually really love Anastasia's products. That's probably one of my favorite brands from this year, but this is their Dip Brow Pomade, and I have the shade Taupe. You guys can see I have used a ton of this product, and it has not dried out yet. It is so good. I got this on Beautylish, and I actually mentioned it in that Beautylish video. I talked more about this, but I did not know how to use a brow pomade, and I struggled with it for a really long time, but I have definitely gotten my brows down now with this, and I said in that video, in that Beautylish video, that the number 14 brush has definitely made a huge difference in using this product, because I was using it with a Morphe brush, and the Morphe brush just wasn't small enough, and the bristles were just a little bit too long, that it was just making my brows look really sloppy. But this is so good. It just, if you want something to stay in your brows and you want something that is very pigmented, I would definitely recommend picking this up. I'm trying to find a dupe for this once I run out of this, because it is $18, but I think it's totally worth it. I've used another brow pomade this year. I don't remember who it was by, but I did not like it as much as this. I just really like this formula. It's really creamy. It doesn't dry out. It's just a really nice match for me. I love this so much. So this is probably my most repurchased product ever, over foundation, anything. This is definitely my most repurchased product. This is the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara plus Filling Fibers. And this is in the shade Blondie Brows. I've used this shade, and I've also used the Brownie Brows shade. This is a spot on dupe for the Benefit Give Me Brow, and that stuff's about 24 bucks. This is $2. $2. This is $2. That is why it's my most repurchased product. I don't go through this very fast, but I have probably purchased at least 10 of these over the last 2 years. Maybe a little bit less, but you guys get the point. This stuff is so good at making your brows just fluff up and add a little bit more fibers to it to make it look a little bit more fluffy. Like I just said, more fluff to your brows. This is just so good. It adds kind of like a highlight to your brows, but this just makes your brow hair stay in place all day long. I will go ahead and I'll put some of this on for you so you can just run it through your brows. I already have some on, and my brows are already kind of feeling a little bit stiff right now, but this just adds a little bit more highlights to your brows, makes them look a little bit more natural if you have to fill in a lot like I do. But I just think that this product is so worth it. Probably the best product from the drugstore in terms of brows. So good, so cheap. Love it. Alright, next category is eyes, and I actually have my Jaclyn Hill palette in the car, and I did not get it out, but you guys know Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, that has been my favorite palette for about 2 years now. It is just wonderful. That is the best palette I've ever used in terms of eyeshadows. Just the formula, the colors, everything about that palette is so good. You guys know I've raved about it on my channel. I've used it so many times. It is the best palette I've ever used. So my next most used palette of 2018 is the, again, Anastasia Soft Blend palette. This palette is so nice. Burnt Orange is my most used color in here. I have hit pan on it. I just love this palette. This is a neutral warm tone lover's dream palette. It has everything that you could really think of. The only downside with this palette that I would say is that it doesn't have a really light shimmer color that you can put all over the lid. These two are pretty light, but they're just not the type of shimmer that I like to wear. There's a color in the Jaclyn Hill palette that is just beautiful all over the lids, and actually that's the first shade I went through in that entire palette, and I wish that she made singles because that's awesome. But that's the only downside of this palette. This has a really light cream shade you can put all over your lid. It has a deep dark inky black, and just all of your beautiful shades in between. The shimmers are out of this world. They literally pack a punch like no other shadows I've ever used. You really don't even have to wet your brush with these, but if you want to amp it up just a little bit, you can without getting a whole lot of fallout on your face. But this was totally worth the $42 that I paid for it. I know that she's come out with 2 more palettes after this now. Anastasia just makes some of the best products, and their eyeshadows are probably some of the best I've ever used. I would not consider this a beginner-friendly palette because of how pigmented these shadows are. If you don't play with eyeshadow a whole lot, and you get into this and you just go ham with it, your look is going to be totally muddy just because of just the pigment in these. You can overdo it just a little bit, but if you know how to use makeup and you know that you like this formula, this is a fantastic palette. Alright, this next palette here is a definite more recent find, and it's something that I really wanted to purchase for a long time now, or at least I wanted to purchase something from this brand for a really long time now. So this is the Natasha Denona Mini Nude Palette. So I have been waiting for her to come out with something like this because Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes are $129 plus for her big palettes. And don't tell anybody, but I broke down and I bought one off of Beautylish so I could split up the payments. I had a $20 off coupon from Beautylish that you could use on anything, and so I decided to use it on that. So I bought the limited edition gold palette, and I like it, but I honestly don't like it as much as I like this palette. So this is the Mini Nude palette, and I, like I said, have been waiting for her to come out with something like this. This is $25, and this is a pretty tiny palette, but I think that I made a very good decision when I bought this because I can use this so quickly on days where I just don't have a whole lot of time. I'm wearing it on my eyes today, and I'm wearing every shade in this palette actually today. My 3 favorite shades in this palette are the transition shade, the one that deepens up your crease a little bit, and then this shade right here in the middle. This shade right here in the middle is my dream eyeshadow. And I'm going to be really sad when I run out of this because I'll have to buy a whole nother palette like this. But this is probably one of my favorite easy palettes from the year. This is probably my favorite palette, like in terms of how easy it is from the year. Alright, my next category is liner and mascara. You guys know I don't wear liquid liner a lot. I don't wear winged eyeliner ever. I used to wear it every single day when I was in high school. And I just found that when I got out of high school, my makeup changed a lot just because I needed to do it a little bit more quick because of my job. And I just found that wearing eyeliner, like a winged eyeliner, just kind of closed my eyes off more because I do have pretty hooded eyes. So I just stopped wearing a liquid liner altogether, and I've just been using pencil liners in the waterline. So my favorite from the year definitely are the LA Girl Glide On Gel Pencils. I have the brown one and the black one, and they're so good. I'm wearing the brown one today. I just think that these are very comparable to high-end liners. These are a really good dupe for the Urban Decay Glide On Gel Liners. These are so good. These are almost an identical dupe for those, and if you're looking for something that will stay in your waterline really good, these are so good, and they're super cheap. So, mascara. I have 2 that I don't have with me right now that I went through this year, but I had 3 favorite mascaras from the whole year, and the first one was the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. I'll have a picture of it on the screen, and also the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. So, when it comes to mascara, I like for my lashes to be very voluminous and very lengthened, so I kind of walk a fine line with mascara. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Usually I can make pretty much every mascara work for me. Earlier in the year, I tried the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara, and I really loved how it lifted and lengthened my lashes, but it smudged by the end of the day up onto my brow bone, and so I had to find a new mascara to do that. I really did love that one, but it smudged a little bit too bad that I just didn't repurchase it. I've been using L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black for years, since I started wearing makeup. I believe it was my first mascara I ever used when I was about 12 or 13, and I loved it, and I continued to repurchase it. That's what my mom had used for years. She never used anything different, and so I just followed suit and just continued to buy it, and that is a great drugstore mascara. I think that's probably my favorite mascara of the year, I would say, besides Lancome. Lancome was really good, but they're very similar, so If you're gonna pick between the Lancome and the L'Oreal, I believe that you could just go with L'Oreal and get almost the same results. When it comes to mascara wands, I really like a fluffy, more like natural hair bristle. They're not natural hairs. I don't really know what they are, but I don't like a plastic wand. I like a more fluffy wand. So then I have the Superhero mascara from It Cosmetics, and I got this in BoxyCharm, and I repurchased it again when Ulta was having their 21 Days of Beauty sale. I have a downside to this mascara now, and I hate that I have a downside to this mascara because it's really, really good. But this kind of dries out a little bit more quicker than other mascaras. And when it starts to dry out, it starts to flake really, really bad. I find that this mascara tends to flake a little bit more than others throughout the day, and I have contacts and it irritates my eyes so bad when this mascara starts to flake. But the results that I get on my lashes just makes this so worth it because it looks good all day long. This is what the brush looks like. It's a little bit more tapered. It's still like a fluffier brush, but it looks a little bit more tapered. I like this mascara. I wish that it didn't dry out as fast as it does, and I wish that it didn't flake, but I like the results that I get from it, so I'll just keep using it, I guess. Alright, my next category is lips, and I have a lot of lip favorites this year. I probably could have mentioned more, but I wanted to keep this a little bit more short because I knew that the rest of the video was going to be long. But stand out regular lipstick from the year definitely has to be ColourPop. Their Luxe lipsticks have a beautiful formula, and my favorite shade, and I don't actually have it in here with me, but my favorite shade is What's Your Sign from Kathleen Light's collection, her Zodiac collection. This is the shade called Butter, and this is from the Catrice and ColourPop collection. I like any of their Luxe lipsticks. Their matte ones are really, really nice, but their cream formulas are my favorite. They're just really, really good. They have a lot of different options to choose from. Super nice packaging, and the formula is like a high-end lipstick. I love it so much. These are only $7, and I think I have 6 or 7 of these in different colors. These are so good. So for liquid lips, I have 3 here. 2 of them are from the same brand, so I'll go ahead and mention those first. The L'Oreal Pro Matte liquid lipsticks are definitely my favorite liquid lip of the year. I started using these last year, I believe. My favorite shades are Nudist for a nude lip, and then Cowboy for more of an orangey lip. I've definitely used these on my channel. I know I used Cowboy in the first fall makeup look. I know I used it then, and that is awesome. These stay on so, so well. Once they start drying out, they do get a little bit more crusty, a little bit more cakey on the lips. So then you know you need to buy a new one if it starts doing that. But these are just so, so good. I know that I have gotten at least one person onto these, but these are really, really good. And my favorite red lipstick is definitely Matador from them. This stays on without me having to worry about the red being all over my face, and I love them. So the next liquid lip is the Liquid Catsuit from Wet n Wild, and this is in the shade Nudie Patootie. The lip that I most often wear definitely would be the What's Your Sign lipstick from ColourPop with this over it and a gloss. I wear that so much. It's probably like an everyday type of thing for me, but I usually wear that. These are pretty drying on their own, so I don't love them on their own. I have repurchased this a lot just to wear over nude lipsticks to make them a little bit more nude, a little bit more gray tone instead of like a really bright, vibrant pink. I love just to layer this over lipsticks and then put a gloss over top. I actually have one honorable mention. It's the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Champagne Glam. I love that so much. This is the best lip gloss of the year. I tried a lot of lip glosses this year, and I love that one the most. I've ran out of it, and I haven't repurchased it yet, so I love that lip gloss so much. It pairs very well with everything. So my last lipstick favorite here is the L'Oreal Color Rouge Shine lipsticks, and my favorite one is in the shade Glossy Fawn. That is what I have on my lips today, paired over the Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat and the butter lipstick from ColourPop. This just gives a fantastic shine to your lips. I've repurchased this about 3 or 4 times. If you like a more sheer lipstick, this is it right here. just something that you can just quickly throw on without even really looking in a mirror. This is awesome. I bought the shade 910 Shining Peach and I don't like it as much, but the formula of these is so good. I will definitely repurchase this a lot. It's so moisturizing, so hydrating, and just gives your lips a really nice glossy type of finish without being sticky. Okay, final category here is setting spray. So I'll go ahead and mention this one first. This is the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. I have used the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray and I loved it for a long time, but it does have shimmer in it, like little glitters, and I don't really care for that as much. This is probably the best sprayer on any setting spray I've ever used. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but this just comes out like a whisper. I don't even know how to explain this, but it just has a really, really nice nozzle on it. You don't feel like you're spraying water on your face, like you're going to have droplets or anything. This is a very, very fine mist. It definitely keeps the makeup on really, really well and just makes everything smooth. Another standout product of the year that makes any foundation you put on your face look so good, so healthy, so dewy, glowy is the Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Illuminating Dewy Glow Setting Spray. This stuff is so good. Catrice Cosmetics is really a very inexpensive brand, and you can find this at Ulta. I can't find it at my local Ulta, just where I live, just because we don't have a lot of Catrice in store, but I have bought this online. This stuff is always sold out. You have to really keep an eye on the Ulta app when this stuff comes in stock, because it'll be gone like in a matter of minutes. I actually just bought a backup of this. This has like little pearl pigments in the bottom of this, and they don't come out as shimmers. It just makes your face look so dewy. I've never used a setting spray that makes your face look this glowy. If you have a matte foundation that is just sucking the life out of your face, use this and it will transform your makeup into a beautiful, nice satin finish. If you're already using a dewy foundation, you can make this look super dewy. You can also spray about 1 or 2 spritz of this and just kind of melt your makeup in. I don't find that this makes my makeup last any longer, but it definitely makes my face look more dewy and more smooth. I have it on today with this paired together. This is so good, so cheap, and I wish the bottle was a little bit bigger because you don't get a whole lot of product in here, but I love it. It's so good, and I will continue to repurchase this every time it's in stock. So I'm sorry if this video was 58 million years long, but those are all my products from 2018 that I love the entire year. I am so sorry that I have not filmed in the last couple of months. Like I said, I've just been super, super busy, and I hope that I can start doing this again, but I'm not going to promise anything because I am still really busy at work. And with it being the wintertime, I don't have a ring light, so it's hard for me to film because in the wintertime, it gets dark at like 5 o'clock. So I need to get a ring light. Don't know if I will yet, but I'm trying to film in the daylight, so that's why I don't really film a whole lot, because I can't find the time to do it if I don't get off early enough. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that little bell button next to the subscribe button to be notified every time I upload a video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!